My parents dated in high school. They had me right after my mom finished college. So I was 2 when my dad left, and my younger brother he was just a couple months old. He just kind of packed up and left. Like my dad didn't let my mom know or anybody else know. And I would ask where my dad was at, and she would tell me he was at work and that he was working late. When I woke up in the morning, I would ask the same thing, and she would say he had to go to work early. And she actually said that for like 2 years. And eventually I just hit an age where I was 5 or 6 years old, and I was just smart enough to know that he's not spending that much time at work. I just kind of felt like I wasn't good enough for him, or there was something wrong with me, or that he just didn't love me enough. Being raised by a single mom, we didn't have a ton of money, and so, I mean, she was always working 2 or 3 jobs at a time, and I kind of forced myself to grow up a little bit faster than I think most kids should have to. And she always talked about how, I mean, she never wanted me to grow up that way because she grew up that way and she knows what it's like. And she would apologize a lot when I was younger because I think she put a lot of it on herself. When I was in 2nd grade, she went too long without having a job, and so we ended up just kind of selling anything that we could to keep food on the table and keep a roof over our head and things like that. And eventually you just run out of things, and so we did end up homeless. And my mom had a big Tahoe at the time, and so you pack up as much as you can in the trunk, and you just find places that either it's okay to park there, like cops wouldn't think to look or something like that. And one of my uncles actually let us come into his house, and so we lived with him for about a year. We picked things back up and everything went pretty well for another 3 or 4 years. And then when I was in 5th grade, my mom had a boyfriend, and this was the most serious that she had ever gotten with a boyfriend, and he asked her to move in with her. And she did, before she said yes to that, she did ask me what I thought about it. And I think I didn't agree with it, but I think I was so worried about just my mom being happy. I just kind of said yes and went with it and just hoped for the best. But in December, it was 5 days before Christmas, and me and my mom had went to a family friend's house, and we finally got back really late. And when we got back, all of our stuff was in the street. The locks on the house had been changed, and so and again, we went a couple days being homeless, and then we stayed with my aunt for maybe 5 or 6 months before again we kind of picked ourselves back up and got a different apartment, and things have been pretty good ever since. I think joy and happiness are 2 different things. I think happiness is definitely a decision that you can make, but I don't think people can make the decision to just be joyful all the time. Like, I think there's got to be a source that it comes from. For me, I definitely find joy in Christ. Just thinking about just how valuable I am to Him, regardless of what my earthly father may or may not have thought about me. I know how much I'm worth and how valuable I am.